Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, find a way to win or you find a way to lose. And you hold your horses. And let's stop taking it to the stupid. Jaron Ennis did the business last night, didn't he? Broke Avanesyan's jaw, broke his nose, broke his will, and just broke his confidence. And who knows if Avanesyan even fights again. I don't know if y'all saw the expression on his face at the end of that fight as they were bringing the stretcher out. But he looked like somebody who should have been saved from himself maybe 2 to 3 rounds earlier. No, I say that because his face is all broken, people. David Avanesyan is all messed up. Now, as we were watching the fight, you saw Boots coming out with his jab and everything and doubling up, right hand, jab to the body, upstairs, downstairs, but it didn't look like he was putting much power behind his jab. And you saw Avanesyan hitting him with shots and countering him and doing some things that I know for me, I didn't anticipate. I felt like Boots was going to get in there, maybe in a couple of rounds, just get him out of there. You know what I'm saying? But obviously the inactivity, a little bit of ring rust, timing being off. Maybe Boots got in there and decided, you know what, I'm just going to break him down, get some rounds in. And even while I was watching the fight, I was even commenting like Crawford kind of fought him the same way. It looked like he was just sparring with him and giving Avanesyan rounds. Not that Avanesyan was taking anything from Crawford. But what you saw happen with Crawford is once he decided he was done playing with Avanesyan, kind of like a dolphin. When a dolphin catches a fish out there in the ocean, a lot of times they'll throw it in the air and catch it and let it splash in the water, and they'll dive and get it again and throw it back up. So once they get tired of playing with their food, they eventually consume it. And that's what Crawford did to Avanesyan. Once he got tired of playing with him, he consumed him. And Boots Ennis kind of did the same thing. He really started, especially when he really buzzed him, really started to pour it on thick. And the whole time we were watching the systematic beatdown, I ain't gonna lie, man. I was surprised that Avanesyan, didn't come out, for the next round, because he has a good poker face, kind of like Miguel Cotto. You hurt Miguel Cotto, and you would never really know unless you see him, lose his equilibrium a little bit, you know what I mean, or start to use a lot of lateral movement or retreat. But his facial expression, you would never know Miguel Cotto was hurt. So with Avanesyan, I was like, damn, he must have been getting his ass destroyed in the ring, but just refused to show that show Boots Ennis that, look, you're hurting me. But I tell you what, he didn't have to say anything. He didn't have to grimace in the ring. You could see in his face, his shit was swollen. He looked messed up, man. And so obviously Boots, he had his way with him. Now that being said, when we talk about the type of Avanesyan Boots had in front of him and the type of Avanesyan Crawford had in front of him, let me point something out to y'all. So this is Avanesyan, right? 30 wins, 18 KOs. Now he has 5 losses. 3 of those losses are by KO. One to Crawford, one to Boots Ennis. As a matter of fact, let me scroll down. Who else knocked him out? Let me see. Kavaliauskas. I'm not surprised. So Kavaliauskas kicked his ass too. But let me show you something that I found interesting, right? Right here. Check this out. Let me show you something here. I think you guys will find this interesting too. Now, for Jaron, let's start with Terence Crawford. So Terence Crawford fought Avanesyan December 10th, 2022. Okay? Now, that was December 10th. Avanesyan had fought in March 19th of 2022. So about, 9 months prior. And before that, he fought October 2021. So he had been pretty active. And the person he fought October 2021 had a record of 23-0 at the time. The person he fought in March of 2022 had a record of 15-0. Then when he fought Crawford, of course, Crawford was 38-0, and Crawford knocked him out. So when Crawford fought Avanesyan, Avanesyan was younger, he was more active. Okay, those are facts. But after he lost to Crawford, right? He lost to Crawford December 10th, 2022. In December 20th, 2023, a year later. So it took a year after the Crawford beatdown to return to the ring. And he fought a guy who was 11 wins, 55 losses. And it was a 6-round fight, and it went 4 rounds. Now, you didn't hear me incorrectly. After Terence Crawford, they fought on December 10th, 2022. On December 20th, 2023, a year later, Avanesyan finally returned to the ring and fought somebody who had 11 wins, 55 losses. Crazy. Anyway, here it is, July, right? So about 7 months later, he gets into a Jaron Ennis. Now, the Avanesyan that Jaron Ennis fought, he's not the Avanesyan that Crawford fought. Okay? But he's not the Avanesyan Crawford fought as far as activity, as far as being sharp, as far as having confidence. The Avanesyan that Boots fought probably didn't really have that much confidence. Definitely not really active. Fought a goddamn tomato can with 55 losses. But the main difference, outside of what I just mentioned, is the Avanesyan Boots fought was an Avanesyan that knew he could not afford to lose this fight. And that's why I feel Avanesyan pushed the way he did until basically he just couldn't push no more. And his corner saw that. They knew his face was broken. And they were like, my man, we need to take you out of this shit because you don't want to quit. You don't want to retire. But if not, you may get killed in here. Like, that's really the direction this was going. Boots was no kidding. Gonna probably end up catching the body. Because he was beating the man at me upstairs, downstairs. And the whole time I'm watching, I'm thinking Avanesyan is catching all that on his gloves, on his arms. He caught a lot of it, but obviously a lot of it was getting through too, you know what I'm saying? Because Boots can crack. So that being said, whose win was better? I don't even think it matters. It's hard to compare when you look at Avanesyan was, you can say he was fresher when he fought Crawford. But you can also say he didn't have the will and he wasn't as committed to trying to get that win against Crawford like he was against Boots because he had everything to lose. Now, that being said, what's going to happen with Crawford and Boots? I see everybody has an opinion. Boots to knock out Crawford. Crawford to knock out Boots. Boots doesn't have any defense. Crawford doesn't have any defense. Boots throws wide shots. Crawford throws wide shots. Boots is sloppy. Crawford is sloppy. I'm like, yo, hold your horses. Stop taking it to the stupid and give somebody credit. Hello, somebody, please. Boxing fans, can somebody give Crawford credit? Can somebody give Ennis credit? Now, if you ask me, I'll tell you, right? I'll give you my honest opinion right now. Based off of how Boots looked last night, I think if he fought Crawford, right? Just based on Crawford, how he looked in his last performance. Remember, Crawford's inactive as hell. He about to fight Madrimov. He may not get past Madrimov. I don't care what nobody says. Some of these boxing fans are so loyal to the fighter they like that they take it to the stupid. They don't want to hear anybody with a different view or opinion. But I think Crawford would beat Boots. See, the thing about Boots, he openly admits that he doesn't mind getting hit. He likes getting hit. He likes being in a fight. Or like the UK boy says, they say, he likes to be in a tear-up. Or like HoodChampion says, a mash-up, crash-up. Let me tell you something. You want to get mashed up and crashed up? Well, good. Terence Crawford will deliver. You want to be in a tear-up and get tore up? Well, good. Terence Crawford will deliver. You like getting hit? Well, cool. Crawford will hit you. The difference is, you ain't going to walk through that shit. Now, can Boots tighten up his defense? Can he be more responsible? I really think you watch Boots when he fought Villa. Villa's not Crawford. But, man, I don't even think he really got hit in that fight. Catching shots, countering, the shit he was doing was amazing. Now, of course, Crawford's a different animal. But he has shown, Boots has shown, that he can be on point. He can be responsible. I just think he, against Avanesyan, was just like Crawford. They felt his power, and they said, okay, this isn't nothing for me to really worry about. And they said, you know what, I'm just going to sit here in the pocket, and I'm just going to, allow him to coochie-coo me. And I'm just going to walk him down and bang him out. And that's exactly what happened. But as far as Boots and Crawford, that's not going to get Boots to undisputed. And I personally don't think it's going to happen. Turkey Al-Sheikh can say what he wants, but Eddie Hearn's not stupid. You heard what he said. The objectives come undisputed at 147. Maybe look at Crawford later. But the problem is Crawford is not getting any younger. He has great genetics, lives a healthy lifestyle. Who knows? Crawford may be able to fight till he's 50 and stay undefeated. You just don't know. But the reality is, I think if for every 6 months that passes, I think the Boots-Crawford fight gets further away from us. Because Crawford's not going to let boxing retire him. Period. But we just have to wait and see. Now, this thing about undisputed, there's nothing to talk about, people. Will Stanley on his fight Boots? Maybe he will. I don't know. But I just don't think Boots is going to perform against Stanley Ennis the way he performed against Avanesyan. Against Barrios, I don't think he's going to perform against Barrios the way he did against Avanesyan. Against Brian Norman Jr., I don't think he's going to fight the way he did against Avanesyan. And I'll tell you this, if he chooses to stay in the pocket, keep his hands down, and get hit against those guys, Boots could be in trouble. Now, I'm not saying they beat him. I'm just saying you can't let guys who are bigger and stronger than Avanesyan tee off on you. That's just dumb, counterproductive. And that undermines the sweet science of boxing, which is to hit and not get hit, especially by guys who can tranquilize you. But right now, looking to me like the biggest threat for Boots Ennis at 147 may really be Brian Norman Jr. But we'll see what Boots decides to do. To me, last night, he had fun, but he kind of did like Fundora. You got the height advantage, reach advantage, but you choose to fight small. But against those other guys, I think you're going to see him go into his element and show the different levels and gears that he has to his game. Boots Ennis is solid. Not everybody can do what he did last night against an opponent who didn't want to lose. But he should not try to do what he did last night against Avanesyan, against any of those top guys at 147, because we could see him get hurt. And there's a wild card out there. I keep mentioning his name. I don't think Eddie Hearn will make that fight. But I'm telling you right now, Boots better stay away from Kavaliauskas, because you don't want to get in there and play around with Mean Machine. If Mean Machine still has anything left in him from what we saw when he faced off against Crawford and when he faced off against Virgil Ortiz, if he still has anything left in him, Boots could be in trouble if he's allowing him to hit him. You just don't want to do that. That being said, I'm looking forward to Boots' next couple of fights. Hopefully he can get back active. Eddie Hearn's in his corner and just get sharp. But I would really like to see him be like Mayweather. And what I mean is focus, man. I don't like to see these fighters looking outside the ring, talking to people outside the ring, grinning, showing all 32 teeth, shucking and jiving, taking it to the stupid. Yo, man, be a consummate professional. Inside the ring, outside the ring. You want to key. You want to ha. Cool. Do that shit after the fight. Inside the ring, stay focused. Because it only takes one. For you to be looking in the crowd, and crack, with your friends or with somebody. And for an opponent who's like, shit, is protect yourself at all times. For them to just time you doing that. Put the bing-bings on you, tranquilize you, and now you're lost and you're there looking stupid. Anyway, I think both definitely can easily become undisputed at 147. Terence Crawford and all that, look, man, you know, I don't know about that one. But it will be a good-ass fight, because I think Boots will definitely fight different from how he fought Avanesyan. And he's been out the ring for a while, so we got to be fair to him. Let's see how the rest of the year plays out, who he fights next. But anyway, good shit for Boots, path to undisputed. I think he'll get that 147, and we'll see what happens after that. Keep cool, I'm in the breeze.